Elon Musk has canceled his Netflix subscription, and he's saying we should too. Let's talk about it. So, I got an article pulled up, Austin, and recently Musk announced that he has canceled his Netflix subscription. He's urging other people to do the same. He literally says, and I quote, cancel Netflix for the health of your kids. So he's super concerned with the kids and what they're viewing on Netflix, which I agree with what he's saying there. And his criticism is tied specifically to a Netflix animated show called Dead End Paranormal Park, which just the title alone gives me the EBGBs. But anyways, this show has a trans protagonist. So, and this protagonist outwardly talks about their issues with being trans and how they want to hide it, but then they can be themselves in other places. And so he's flagging this as a major concern, which I completely understand why he's flagging this as a major concern. And then he contends that Netflix is pushing a transgender woke agenda, which I'm not going to deny that either. And so there's another person that actually commented and said, hey, they canceled their Netflix. And then Musk replied, same. So he's like also commenting on other people's posts that are canceling. So he's definitely like getting people riled up and getting the sentiment towards like canceling the Netflix subscription, basically speaking with your dollars and speaking with your actions. And so, interestingly enough, Austin, this show that he's targeting, it's already been canceled. It ended in 2023. So the show's already been canceled. Obviously, it didn't do that well. I wonder why. Read the room. But so some of his posts sometimes come from things that have already been canceled. But the premise of it still remains. Like, we should be watching out for what our kids are watching and consuming on these streaming sites like Netflix, like Disney Plus, and others. So I just want to get your quick opinion. I obviously have 3 kids, so I have my own thoughts, but let's hear your opinions first of all this going down.
Yeah, clearly this show was made during the time where a lot of the woke and agenda stuff was being pushed out. So, like, it's no surprise. It's interesting that he is catching on to something, or people are catching on to something that late. But the fact of the matter is, there's still content out there on these streaming services that kids can stumble upon. And whether or not you agree with these opinions or this ideology or not, the fact of the matter is there are a lot of families out there that don't want their kids watching certain things. It's not just something you can say, "Oh, you're a bigot and you need to get over it and like embrace it." No, at the end of the day, families are different and want their kids to do different things, and so you need to respect that. Hey, like, there's content on here that's inappropriate. Anything that has to do with sexual orientation, sexual identity, sexuality, anything like that, kids should not be watching. And this is probably going to make people mad, but it seems to me that anytime anything has to do with the paranormal or the occult or anything like that, there's always something aligned with this type of agenda or this type of ideology or this type of sexual orientation. Those things tend to go hand in hand. It's very interesting. And so whether it's witchcraft, whether it's paranormal stuff, ghost hunting, all that stuff, there always tends to be, trans, lesbian, the LGBTQ community in it. And so it's very interesting that these ideologies go together. At the end of the day, this is stuff that can be dangerous. We have seen that in our society and our culture. You push this stuff through the masses, you push this stuff through movies and TV shows, it's going to influence kids. I mean, think about the things that we grew up on. Obviously, we didn't have this type of stuff, but we were influenced by those heroes. We were influenced by that type of character and that stuff that those were pushing in that. That's why we love characters like Luke Skywalker and Indiana Jones and Rambo and Rocky and all these things, because it made us feel like, hey, we could do anything, like men stand up and act like men. Kids aren't getting that these days. They're getting confusion. They're getting, well, I don't really know who I am, so I'm going to just jump at whatever feels good. That's what this type of stuff portrays. And I've seen arguments say, hey, well, the character in this show wasn't pushing any type of sexual stuff. They were just saying, hey, this is what I identify as. That may be true. However, this isn't the first time Netflix has done something. I mean, Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous went 5 seasons as a very good show. And at the very end, they reveal, oh, these 2 girl characters actually like each other and they're in a relationship. And so, not the first time Netflix has done it. I think that at the end of the day, Netflix is not going to just bow down to, people canceling their subscriptions. We've seen that. Disney Plus hasn't done anything either off of cancellations. So I think as a parent, it starts in the home. just be aware of what you're having your kids watch. If you're just letting your kids watch anything, whether it's on YouTube or on Netflix, honestly, that's on you as a parent because you're not vetting that. And it's your job as a parent to raise your kids in the way they should go. And so, the Bible says that, raise your kids in the way they should go and they will not depart from it. If your kids know what's true and they're standing firm in that and you raise them up in that, when they get older and they're naturally going to be exposed to things outside of your house, they're able to discern and decide what they need to watch and whatnot.
Yeah, no, I think you said that brilliantly, and I tend to agree with what Elon is saying. I mean, it's very, very dangerous ideology, and honestly, this will probably get us in some trouble and hot water here. But what the heck? I think it is a mental disorder. It is not natural,
Yep.
and we are pushing these things. And like you said, it's no surprise that it is coinciding with the demonic, in my opinion, because these ideologies, in my opinion, are demonic. I think they're straight from the devil and they're lies from the pit of hell.
Yeah.
There's men and there's women. Now listen, once you turn 18 or 21 and you want to choose to do with your life what you want to do, like if you want to date another guy and you're a guy, if you want to date another girl and you're a girl and that's your choice, that is up to you. We live in a free country. Like you can go do that. Do we on this channel agree with that lifestyle? No, we do not. Do we condemn you? No, we do not. We still love you and we want you to come and hang out with us and talk about movies, and we can still have conversations and we can have debate. You can still be friends and agree to disagree on certain topics. But one thing that we will stay clear and crystal clear on is don't push this stuff on our kids.
Yeah.
Like they're not asking for that. Once they become adults, if they choose to do that, that's on them. But when my kids, who right now are 8, 6, and 4, are subject to stuff like that, that is so wrong in so many ways. Like, why are we forcing that stuff that's completely messed up and demented on our children? Like, let's go back to the days of just pure fun entertainment, like cute stuff that the kids you could just sit them in front and like let them watch it and not worry, like, what are they going to say next? So, but yes, Austin, it's very important as us, the parents, we have to vet stuff. If you're just blindly letting them go click on Netflix, go click on YouTube, and you're not checking in to see what they're watching, put some parameters and guidelines in and be an actual parent, then yeah, you're right. That's on us. Now, can they live their entire life in a bubble? No. And that's why you said it starts at the home. We raise them up the way that they need to be raised. So when they see this garbage and it's presented to them, they're like, no, that's not true. I know what's true. I know what's true, and I believe what is true, and that is completely false. So, like you said, Netflix, Disney, all these different places that are pushing these woke agendas, that's not going anywhere. Matter of fact, it might get worse. But we can at least do our part to censor it the best we can. Now, am I going to go and cancel my Netflix subscription? Have I canceled my Disney Plus subscription? No, because there's a lot of great stuff on there too. So, and then I would make the point of, well, if you're going to go as far as to cancel Netflix, then you got to cancel Amazon, then you got to cancel Walmart, then you got to cancel Target, you got to cancel all of these other big brands, because all of these big brands support or push these type of woke agendas all over the place. So you'd be stuck not being able to really do anything. So at the end of the day, be discerning and don't just like outwardly just be like, oh, well, it's bad, but who cares? I guess we're just going to watch it anyways. You don't have to watch it. You can choose not to watch it. And if you don't watch it and the viewership is down, then it'll get canceled like this show did. So you can also like battle it by just not watching it. Like I didn't watch K-pop Demon Hunters. I didn't let my kids watch it. A lot of my friends and their kids watched it, but I was like, no, I'm not subjecting my kids to that demonic stuff. So you can choose as a parent what you do with your kids. Any final closing thoughts, Austin?
No, I think this is just a continued conversation that's important to have. As we, as a society, we are attracted to media and entertainment, and we should just be discerning of what we watch. There's a lot of stuff out there, more than we could ever consume in our lifetime. And so, at the end of the day, if there's something like this that you don't agree with or don't like, then don't watch it. You speak with your money, you speak with your viewership, And at the end of the day, like you said, these things can be canceled. Just like, Disney has lost a lot of shows because we didn't agree or we didn't like the storytelling that they were doing. At the end of the day, you speak with your money. And so I just recommend everybody out there to be discerning, protect your kids, start in the home, teach them the right thing. And then at the end of the day, if a company's doing something wrong that you don't like, then just don't pay for it. Don't pay attention to it. Don't give it a voice.
Agreed. Well, hey, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. We are Fandom Fix. Be sure to hit that notification bell, like, subscribe. Let us know in the comments if you completely disagree with us. We are open to conversation, open to dialogue. We'll even go live and talk about it. But until next time, we're signing off. See you.